All right, everyone, it's Andreas Hale, senior combat sports writer at Sporting News, and I'm here with a man, you got to remember his name, Belal Muhammad, who is fighting Gilbert Buns at UFC 288 next weekend. Belal, how are you doing, man?
Good, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Listen, this is a short notice fight. It's a 5-round fight. It's the welterweight division is kind of a mess right now, but I want to go all the way back to your fight with Leon. The eye poke happens. It's a no contest. Leon ends up fighting Nate Diaz. He wins that fight. You go on this winning streak, and Leon ends up fighting Kamaru, and you're watching this fight. And I know you're sitting there going, well, if Kamaru wins, I know I'm next in line. Leon knocks him out. In your head, did you go, that kind of messed up things? Like, what did you think was about to happen?
Yeah, for sure. When that happened, I was there sitting front row, and I saw that, and I was like, bro, that just ruined everything. But like even if that didn't happen, you never know, because even now after this last fight that he won, I figured I would be next in line for sure. But for some reason, they still didn't give it to me, so I knew that I was still gonna have to claw my way to the top. I still have to keep winning more fights to get there, because they're not gonna hand me anything. I'm gonna have to take it from these guys.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, this winning streak that you're on is not normal. And it's one of those things, when you win a lot of fights, you should get a title shot. It seems pretty obvious. Leon had won a lot of fights, and people had said the same thing about him, and it felt like it took forever. Why do you think that is? Because at this particular time, you and Leon have a history, yet Colby Covington gets to skip the line. In your head, what do you think it is? Is it favoritism? Like, what is it about Colby that puts him ahead of you?
Yeah, it made no sense at all, honestly. And I'm sitting there like, there is history, there is this, there is that. And it's like, I'm fighting these tough guys. Like, even with Leon, he got the title fight off of being Nate Diaz. Like, you beat Nate Diaz, you beat Donald Cerrone, you beat RDA. These are all 55ers. I'm fighting guys that have been at 170, top ranked guys for years. So it was just, honestly, it was a joke. And I was sitting there like, stressed. You're wondering, like, bro, when am I? They're never going to give me anything. So that's why I was like, I have to take it. And the way I take it is by going out there and smashing Gilbert Buns and showing him, like, bro, like, there's no way you could sell a Leon Kobe fight if I go out there smash Gilbert Buns. And you got a guy sitting there on a 10-fight winning streak who just took a fight on 2 weeks' notice, and you're still going to give the title shot to Gilbert Buns. It's not possible at all.
Was the Colby fight offered to you? Because I remember when it came up, you showed a screenshot on social media, and a lot of people were like, wait a second. Like, how does Colby get here if he was offered a fight with a man that's on a winning streak, and then all of a sudden he's the backup, and then all of a sudden he's next in line? And Dana always says, and you know this, I don't make fights the night of a fight. But he tried to make that one. So was that fight offered to you originally, and what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, now I'm looking at it like I feel like they offered it probably like 5 times, and I said yes 5 times, and I was wondering what happened. It always like, oh, this happened, and then all of a sudden he pops up as the backup, and it was just like, dude, did they just play me right now, or were they just like you want to be the fly in the room of like what they're thinking and why they're thinking it, and it just didn't make any sense to me at all. So like, I couldn't give you a reason, honestly, because it made no sense at all.
So is Dana White privilege real?
Hey, bro, like, you don't know no more, because it's looking like Dana looks like he hates him, but then they give him a title fight. So maybe it's bigger than Dana. Maybe it's one of the upper echelon guys that's like, man, maybe Kobe sells, or maybe Kobe will talk trash, and it'll make Leon come out of character, because Leon doesn't sell himself at all. He doesn't promote himself. He doesn't do interviews. So maybe they're looking for some sort of fight where it'll be some sort of like crazy trash talk where Leon will somehow come up with a personality.
I mean, but even Leon, when they brought it up to Leon at the post-fight press conference, Leon was like, wait, what? Colby? The first thing he mentioned you. He was like, well, there's other fighters on winning streaks that I could fight and defend this title. It don't even seem like Leon wants to fight with Colby. It seems like Leon would like to fight you. Again, I don't know what the hell's going on, but now you're in this 5-round fight with Gilbert Buns. And for some people, they looked at it like, yeah, you're doing this to prove it, but I think you've done enough to prove it. And now that you guys are having this fight, it's like you're eliminating each other when you both should be title contenders ahead of Colby Covington. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I mean, for me now, it's like, I don't even want to give that clown any more clout. So it's like, Gilbert Buns is in front of me. He's the only one I'm looking at. And I know beating him, there's nothing that can deny me the next shot.
How do you see this fight going? Because yes, you put a lot of pressure on fighters. Gilbert beat Jorge Masvidal, which a lot of people thought was going to happen anyway. But Gilbert had a hell of a showing against Khamzat Chimaev, which a lot of people were like, thought Khamzat was invincible and he pushed the pace. But how do you see this fight going? Because in my mind, it feels like a fight of the night. Obviously, a lot of you guys don't want fight of nights. You don't want a long night of fight. You want to get somebody out of there early. But how do you see this fight shake it out?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of differences when, he gets a lot of credit for going 3 rounds with Chimaev, but Chimaev's not that good to me. I'm a guy that's been confident at Chimaev fight because I know that I could beat Chimaev. Gilbert Burns is not that good to me. He's another guy that I know I could beat. There's nobody in the top 5 that I look at and think like, man, this will be a tough fight. I think I'm better than all these guys, and that's why I'm willing to take this fight on 2 weeks' notice because I know I can smash these guys. In an 8-week camp, I'll dominate these guys. In a 2-week camp, I'm gonna beat these guys impressively.
Is Gilbert, in your mind, a tougher fight for you than if you ended up fighting Colby Covington?
Yeah, I think Gilbert's definitely tougher than Colby. I think that Gilbert possesses more power than him and a better ground game. To me, Colby sucks. He's the most overhyped fighter in the UFC.
I can see why you would say that. Also, if you win this fight, I mean, you turn around, it's a 2-week notice fight, and how quickly would you want to get in there? Do you want to give Leon time? Because it seems like Leon wants to take time before his next fight. Or do you want to push his button and be like, look, man, I just did this fight on 2 weeks notice. We both got the same amount of time. We both fought relatively close to each other. Maybe not International Fight Week, but maybe the Garden is where you fight Leon?
No, I mean, he was talking about Abu Dhabi. So if he wants to go to Abu Dhabi, he wants to defend in Abu Dhabi, those are my people. So I'd rather fight him in Abu Dhabi. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Now, with all this being said, you've had to wait a long time for your title opportunity. And I know it's frustrating, but does it almost make it that much sweeter when you finally get your hands on that title? Because that's what it's got to be at this point, because you've been hungry, starving, proving your way the entire time. Once that fight happens, is it bigger than getting the title fight maybe last year? I know you've always wanted it, but now is it like, I'm proving everybody, there's no question. If I beat Gilbert, I deserve the opportunity. If I beat Leon, who can say anything to me? I am the rightful welterweight champion.
Yeah, I think it's starting to get to the point too where it's like once I get that belt, I would have basically already have gone through everybody in the division. So like me winning that belt, now I'm gonna be looking at Adesanya and going up to 185 because it'll be like double champ status because I'm like they're making me fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is gonna be the 4th top 5 guy I'm fighting on this streak. So I'm fighting the toughest guys in the division. So I'm not gonna have to go through them again once I already get up there.
I think that's interesting because we've seen fighters like Sean O'Malley who kind of jumped the line and fought Petr Yan, and he won. And now, if he were to become champion, he has a lot of opponents that he didn't fight. Conor McGregor had that kind of a same thing. He skipped a few, and then you were like, oh, well, he hasn't fought this person. If you win the title, who the hell is left for you to fight? Do you even see anybody that's on the come up that could challenge you that you haven't fought? You have literally fought everybody in this division.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's always never looking past the guy in front of me. So right now we're looking at Gilbert, and once we get there, we'll get there. But yeah, it's like by the time I get that title wrapped in my waist, it's gonna be funny to see how they want to play it out.
Is there a part of you that sometimes thinks the UFC booked you thinking that you would lose these fights and not thinking that you would be on this streak?
No, I mean, I think for them, it's always like, what's the biggest fight we can make? What's the best fight we can make? And, for them, they had to make this fight. They lost a big co-main event. So me fighting Gilbert Burns is a huge fight to replace that. And 2 guys that are willing to go in there and fight. And they needed it, honestly.
My last question. Did they compensate you properly for taking a fight on short notice, a 5-round fight in a co-main event? Did the money make the most sense out of this? I know you want the fight, but I'm sure they had to pay you.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely getting paid. But for me, it's like all I needed was the guaranteed title shot next. So the opportunity is bigger than anything else.
So it is guaranteed. No matter what happens, if you win this fight, you've been guaranteed that title fight, because I don't want to see any more coming around that says, oh, maybe somebody else should get that. You win this fight.
No. They if I win this fight, they said my next fight will be for the title.
Well, damn. I hope they hold to their word because you deserve it, sir. I appreciate the time, Bilal. I mean, damn, man, the fight is a week away. It seems like you're ready for this, and I look forward to whatever happens next for you to get a chance to talk to you again, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.